Welcome to the Smart Weight Loss Coaching Podcast. I'm Dr. Lisa Olson, a board-certified weight loss medicine specialist and certified life coach. In this podcast, I'll share fresh insights and effective techniques for incorporating mindset, habit change, and proven science into your life. Are you ready to achieve sustainable weight loss, wellness, and longevity? Then let's jump in and lose weight the smart way. Today, I'm going to share a new way to evaluate your weight loss goals. I was talking with a colleague this morning, and we were discussing our own behavioral goals and how we approach them. She wants to increase her high-intensity exercise because that's been the most effective way to maintain her weight. So we talked about our schedules and how to carve out time for exercise while juggling jobs, kids, and all of the tasks involved in being a grown-up. That list of tasks, by the way, seems to have multiplied in recent years. Is it just me, or do you also have the sense that our pile of administrative tasks is growing at a rapid rate? Just keeping up with the communication from my kids' school is a part-time job, even though I do appreciate that communication. And whether or not you have school-age kids, life is pretty hectic. Most of us can use some help prioritizing our health and our weight. Anyway, so back to carving out time for things like cooking, exercising, and even journaling to support weight loss. My colleague asked a rhetorical question about goals that I thought was critically important, so I wanted to share it here. She asked, is the goal 100% compliance? 100% compliance. That's so interesting. Just to make sure we're all on the same page, let me quickly explain what physicians mean when they chat about compliance. One example is medication compliance, which refers to whether or not you're taking your meds exactly as prescribed. So if I prescribe an antibiotic to you and you have to take it 3 times a day, I can guess that compliance will be lower than if I prescribe a once-a-day antibiotic. It's not that you don't understand how important it is to take your medication as prescribed. It's that life is busy. 100% compliance means we do exactly what we've been instructed to do 100% of the time. But 100% compliance is not realistic in all situations. In fact, I'd say that 100% compliance is rarely realistic. Of course, there are times when we expect people to have 100% compliance with a plan. If I'm flying to a medical conference this weekend, which I am, I expect the pilot to be in 100% compliance with the safety check requirements before departure. That's a place where there's very little wiggle room for error. But here's the good news. We're working on weight loss, not flying airplanes. So 100% compliance is not only unnecessary, it's punitive. Why would we do that to ourselves? Let me ask you this. Do you set aggressive, sweeping goals like these? I'm going to stop eating foods with added sugar. I'm going to cut out dairy. I'm going to walk for 1 hour every day. I'm going to give up wine, coffee, and Diet Coke and only drink plain water. I'm going full-on plant-based vegan starting now. That last one sounds kind of like me at times, which is when I know I need to calm down a little bit and relax around my health goals. How about you? When you make a plan like one of those in order to lose weight, is your goal 100% compliance? Should it be? Those are big goals, and in my opinion, expecting perfect compliance is unnecessary. There's room here for progress, not perfection. Let's look at compliance for that 1 hour per day walking goal, because we all know walking is amazing for preventing weight gain, for maintenance of weight loss, to prevent diabetes, and for better physical and mental health. I'm all for daily walking. So your goal is to briskly walk an hour a day, but let's say you walk for an hour 4 times this week, then you walk for 15 minutes on one day and 20 minutes on another day, and you get busy at work and skip the 7th day of the week. Is that a win, or did you blow it this week? Now you see where I'm going, right? If your goal is 100% compliance with a daily walk, I suppose you might say you blew it because you didn't nail your goal on 3 of the 7 days. But in reality, you may have just doubled the amount of exercise you got compared to last week. Or you got as much exercise as one could reasonably expect to get given the constraints of your schedule. Many of my clients will beat themselves up for anything less than perfection. But I say, don't let perfect be the enemy of the good. And remember that 100% compliance is never the goal when it comes to weight loss or increasing your health span. This is a marathon, not a sprint. And if we make ourselves miserable with unrealistic plans, we're going to feel defeated. Instead, we want to take an approach that keeps us motivated and willing to keep showing up and doing what we can reasonably do week after week. In fact, I coined a term for this approach many years ago. I call it Wabi Sabi Weight Loss. We do a deep dive on Wabi Sabi Weight Loss in our group program, but basically it means we embrace our imperfect approach to weight loss and appreciate what we did do in terms of effort toward our goals. That's Wabi Sabi. It's very forgiving and loving. If you're a believer that you're best motivated by trash talking yourself when you're not fully compliant with your weight loss plan, I think you're wrong. And the science supports me in that belief. I'd like to encourage you to encourage yourself when you Wabi Sabi it. Every effort counts and should be noted and maybe even celebrated. If you have 50% compliance with your plan the first week, that's a total win, my friends. We're not piloting a Boeing airplane looking for 100% compliance with the safety check. We're humans, busy humans, trying to make a few better decisions this week than we made last week. We never need to hold ourselves accountable for 100% compliance. Perfection is a pretty miserable goal. Although it's not sexy, sometimes good enough is really all that we need to make progress with weight loss. As you set your MBA for today, your next best action, I encourage you to think about compliance and accepting less than perfection. In fact, embracing less than perfection. I'm all for aspirational plans for weight loss, but please celebrate your effort and your partial compliance along the way, because that will drive your willingness to show up and try again tomorrow. Wabi Sabi weight loss, people. Let's do it. Thanks so much for listening. If you'd like more support during your smart weight loss journey, check out our group coaching program at smartweightlosscoaching.com. Until next time, stay well and stay smart.